37 years ago, Leslie Guthrie picked up her 6-year-old daughter Julie and her 3-year-old son Tim Jr. from their father's house at 7 Grandview Avenue in Katonah. They haven't been seen or heard from since. The February 1977 disappearance of the mother and children has baffled Bedford police, who continue to investigate the case. Age-enhanced photos of the mother and 2 children were recently issued by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Detective Larry Haynes is currently working the case, and police ask anyone with information to contact them.
Grandview Avenue is where we're standing right now, in front of where Leslie used to live with her husband. She was here picking up her children, and she was supposed to be making her way down to Armonk to pick up her mother at IBM.
In February, when she went missing, there was a huge storm. They referenced it as a nor'easter. So the road conditions were very bad. On her way to go pick up her mother, which way did she travel? Did she take the highway? Did she take the back way?
And a lot of speculation has come out as far as, taking the back way, because there was the new Interstate 684 that had just been built at that time. And so with the web sleuths that are online, they said, Jared, a lot of them reached out to me on this case, and they said, Jared, take a look at 22, take a look at the intersection of 120 right there near Armonk. Because in addition to this, the other piece of information is that she actually lived in White Plains further south with her mom. So that's why she was picking up the kids, picking up mom, going home, or did she end up going south and going to White Plains first, and then she was coming back to pick up mom? There's a lot of little reservoirs with a lot of roads right along it. Back in 77, we didn't believe in guardrails back in 77.
Yeah, the interstate between here and picking her mother up was pretty much ruled out because, for one, it was a huge winter storm, and if she would have been in an accident on the freeway, somebody would have known. Somebody would have said something, the vehicle would have been found. And in this case, the vehicle hasn't been found.
My first initial thought on this case is leaving her husband's house, the very end of Grandview. These homes were not here in 1977. The foliage would have been, a lot less dense at that moment in time. What if she just right into this pond in this little lake right here? But then we throw through the drone up. You can take a look at some of this footage, and you can see all the way across the entire pond, we're only dealing with, 12 inches to 18 inches in depth there. So that one takes this location off of our list immediately. But then we've got some additional thoughts.
Yeah, so when she left here on Grandview, she was on her way to pick up her mother. Which route did she take? There's a clear interstate route, but the interstate has pretty much been ruled out. If she would have been in an accident on an interstate, or if something would have happened there, somebody would have seen something, and the vehicle would have also been found. That hasn't happened. The vehicle is still missing. Her and her 2 children are still missing with the vehicle. So did she take a back road? There's several ways she could have taken, and there's also a couple of bodies of waters along those ways. And you talk about icy conditions, anything can happen.
And the thing is some people also believe in the investigation is that these reservoirs may have been frozen over the time. But we're dealing with a 1973 Maverick that we're also looking for. Weighs 3,000 pounds, and the lead investigator that's currently been working on this case for the last 12 years has gone back and reconsidered, what if she broke through the ice? What if she is in the water? In fact, that's kind of where they're leaning, because they've actually, the state police and the detective on the case, they've also done some water investigations with some dive teams and some sonar. But again, there's a lot of water to search, a lot of routes to take, and I think that right now, let's jump down onto the 120 or the 22, and let's go start at that location today. What we're looking for here, we're coming up to this reservoir right here, Doug. And so, is there any opportunity to get from no guardrail from here into the lake right there? Is what we're looking for. And the bigger spot that we're looking for is going to be coming up right next to the road. is what we're interested in up here.
And I mean,
So there you go.
This guardrail isn't even 10 years old.
Yeah, so take that guardrail out.
Yep.
Trees, we have to search this.
Yep.
100%. See a bottom in it, or just look deep?
I mean, it definitely looks deep.
Yeah. Yeah, you got places to hide a car out there. And then remember too, if it was frozen, we may have a car that's going to be further out that may have hit the ice, slid out a little bit further, and so we're gonna have to do 3 passes instead of our normal 2, I think. If you have never seen one of our videos before, we'd like to do sonar overview to help bring you up to speed so you can understand what it is that we're looking at. We have 3 different devices we're using for the settings. We're using a Garmin 8612. This is a live scope, so anything that's happening in real time, you can see. So if a fish swims by, you'll see the fish swimming by. This one over here, the Humminbird 8612, is a picture in time. We're using side imaging and down imaging. The way that we read these is you have a depth here, and that's from the transducer to the bottom of the riverbed or lake bed. Over here is where the Humminbird is at for that transducer. It's off by about a foot from the other one. Anyway, that will give you a down imaging from the top of the boat down to the bottom of the lake as well. So you can see the grid lines here will match your depth there. Side imaging, we cast 75 feet to the right, 75 feet to the left is what we normally cast. We might have something back here too, Doug. I'll have to go check that. Anyway, anything that's black water column, black is water column. And those are the 3 settings that we use to triangulate if there's something in here. With our scanning, we're gonna start roughly 35 feet from the shoreline here. And the other thing that we'd like to do is we'd like for our speed to be anywhere from 1.9 to 2.5 miles an hour. So we're going to get into position, bump our speed up just a little bit, and go see if we can find a vehicle in here. With as much foliage that's down here as well, we're probably gonna have to tighten up our passes as well. Probably do 20-foot passes in here and change our side imaging probably down to 35 feet.
Real clear water.
Yeah, so closer to shore is not going to be the place for us. We're going to be focusing more on the hitting the ice back in the day if there was, and floating out a little bit further. Right there, right there, right there, right there, right there. I don't have it on my scope now. I completely lost it. I'm going to come in and out from shore and see if I can identify like that line on it. A lot of foliage, a lot of foliage. Where did it go? And we can't both be wrong, right?
Can't both be wrong what? No, I saw that.
For what we saw.
I saw that. It's definitely an object. Oh. Oh, I'm on it.
Are you really?
I feel it.
I'll take you back over it. I don't think.
Oh, I'm on it. I feel it.
I think we're too close to shore.
I'm gonna say 100% a rock, just because of how dense it is. It's like there's nothing on it. It's hard. It's clank, clank, like a knock.
Yeah. Right there. You're right on top of it now. Yeah, that's a rock.
Here, feel it.
No, I believe you.
Just you can tell that.
Oh, that's a rock, 100%. Yeah, clank, clank,
Knock.
clank, clank, clank.
That's a rock knock.
Yeah, then we'll drag over it.
That's a rock knock.
Yeah. So we just cleared this section of river up here, or reservoir. Bring it down to that 22 and 120. So we have this entire intersection, and we just need to find somewhere, anywhere from here, all the way around to here, that we can put the boat in. And really we need to run all of that down to this section. So anywhere that we can find a good pull off there. And then really, I guess this part of the bridge too. Oh man, we have that entire section to run. So I guess really what we have then, Doug, is we need to just find one good location there and run all of this. Because that's going to be, if she would have gone down to White Plains first
And turn around.
to go home, feed the kids or whatever time of day it was, and then she went back up to Armonk to go get mom. Yeah, we have a lot of reservoir to cover there. I mean, this has definitely been redone over the years. So what if you come flying down 22 there, you miss the turn, boom, you end up in the water right here. Very easy. No guardrail, no foliage. I'm really interested in this stretch right here. So White Plains is where we're at right now. I like what I'm seeing here already, because we're not dealing with a bunch of foliage like we were at the last location. So now what we have is nice smooth bottom. So now we're going to turn this back to 75, because that's my preference for scanning left and right. Then we're going to bump it up to 2.5 miles an hour. And then let's go see what we can find up at that intersection right up there.
I like smooth bottoms. Very easy to tell what's what.
Yeah.
If something's there, it's going to stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, that last location we were at with all that foliage just make it so difficult. You have to tighten up your search radius.
Yep. So if we had a magnetometer, we could have a third screen right here,
Oh yeah.
and just running it at the same time. And we know immediately. I check up there. Up, is that metallic? Okay, no. It's going to make. That's what we need, a magnetometer. Seriously.
It would actually go 15 feet below the surface.
Oh, it would have to.
Yeah, it'll read below.
Oh, so it's reading 15 feet below the surface.
Yeah, it'll go below into
How
the
deep does
dirt.
it have to be in the water?
Just a few feet. Like it could be actually be right here on the boat. It could be floating right here on the top of the water, and it will read about 25 feet deep.
A lightweight magnetometer.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be the best in the world, but something that's going to allow us to see right then and there, is that magnetic?
Yeah.
If we would have been able to do that on the first pass, we'd be down there by now.
Right. Okay, so we have now covered 3 major locations. We've covered the pond over off of Grandview, where the husband used to live. We've covered Pleasantville Cove, which is just up around in the other arm over there that was off of 120. We've also covered off of 120 and 22 right here, including this other intersection where I think this is where 684 would have come over into our mark as well. We have 2 additional kind of cove locations on this reservoir, as well as that bridge. So I think what we need to do right now, Doug, is just top off our fuel and just keep hitting this reservoir. We need to clear this entire reservoir.
This here is the actual search, sonaring. This is what's going to produce results when it comes to finding something underwater. 100%.
Yeah, there's a lot of hidden spots. I thought we were only going to have like 2 spots, plus the bridge.
So you can see this car about to come by right now, right there, and it's a short embankment. So if you come over that embankment and come down, you're coming into here.
Yeah, and we have 8 feet of water right here too.
8 feet, really? We're talking about 50 years. I mean, really, we only need about 5 feet of water to hide a car from plain view.
So I was interested as we came past that one. I saw a target that I was interested in, but it just appears to be something smaller sticking up. That's not a vehicle. What we'll do though is we'll come through here though, Doug, and we'll up and back.
Get a different angle.
Yeah, we'll do 2 passes through here, 1 that way, 1 back. Now that we've done 2 on the other side and 2 on this side.
Because right now we're scanning out, and then when we switch our pattern, we'll be scanning this way.
Yep.
So to give a completely different view of what it was.
Yeah, with it being this deep, we just want to make sure. So check this out. The other thing that I'm really surprised at. See the underneath?
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a solid concrete all the way down.
It's not, no.
No, it's a big arch is what it is.
What is that?
No idea. It was off to our right, so now we're going to be coming back up over it on this side, and it's actually before we get to the pillar over here.
So now it's going to be over here.
Yeah, or we're going to be right over the top of it, one of the two. Yeah, so we should be coming up to it right now. The next 5 feet or so. And should not showing up that time. No idea. Wait, I can go hit it again. You want me to put you right over that one?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So I'll try to park you right on it with the live scope too. You're coming up on it right now. So right over it right there. Not very tall, maybe 18 inches tall.
Yeah, it's not a car.
No. So, you know, with all these boats, I'm surprised we've not seen a sunken boat yet. Until I see looks like half of one in there.
Is that a boat? That's a boat.
It's like half a sunken boat. Oh, look, and then look, we have another boat over here on the right-hand side too. Here, let's back it up. So that one's on the left. See if we can find it on live scope. All right, it's still like just barely on the right. We're like right over the top of it now. Oh, there it is. Oh, that thing is like completely buried. Like you have maybe 3 inches sticking up out of the water on it, or off the bottom.
This honestly is probably one of the closest roadways of this stretch that we have done to the water. Like, look at that. It's literally on top of the water. Is this where we find her?
You never know. It's 27 feet deep right here. So it certainly could be.
Thoughts are our main target coming into this. Basically, we're unable to search it without GPR or a magnetometer because it's so shallow. It's the most logical place that they could have been was in the pond.
Yeah, I think it's been shallow the entire time though. So I don't think that's.
All right. So for whatever reason, you know, we've definitely ruled it out though with our capabilities. The next step was we go see, you know, what route did she take? We've looked at both routes. The areas that we've searched today so far we've ruled them out. There's nothing here that we can find. There's nowhere else to go on this at this point. I mean, where else is there to go? I mean, the only other body of water that was on a route is like almost non-existent. It's so super shallow.
Was that a car right there?
It's a possibility.
It looks exactly like a car. Back right up over it again. But it was only on live scope. Like I didn't see anything pop up on down imaging or side imaging that would represent. See, like, look at that right there.
Rocks. I'm willing to say that is rocks because there's so many different ones. And that's the area right there where it was the first time. And you're gonna come back into this same area.
Yeah.
I love sonar.
Always hopeful.
I love sonar now. Like it's awesome. It's a whole new world of vision and searching. It is. I understand now when I first met you when I was back at Elite Towing helping you pull cars out and you referred to the art of sonar. It is an art of understanding what you're seeing. It really is. It's neat. It's very neat.
With the mysterious disappearance of Leslie and her 2 children, Timothy and Julie Guthrie, it leaves you to wonder, was this nothing more than a snowstorm accident? By chance, did she run off and join a cult? Those rumors are out there. Or, I don't think that she went down the suicide route. I don't see her being one of those cases to where it was you know what, I'm getting divorced. If I can't have them full time, I'm not gonna let my husband have them either.
Yeah, there was no rumors as far as that's concerned.
Yeah.
And with today's search, we have the pond that we first started at this morning, right there on Grandview, right where she was last seen, where she picked up her kids that morning. We have the Pleasantville Cove, which is a connection of the waterway, which we're on now. And right now we have the reservoir connected to 120 and 22 right here. And we searched it from here all the way down to the dam, and nothing. I mean, it is 50 years old.
And I would love to say with 100% confidence that Leslie, Julie, and Timothy are not in this reservoir. But the issue is coming back to what you just said. We're dealing with a 44-year-old case, over 4 decades of silt and sediment and buildup. And I think it comes back, in order for me to like look a family in the eye or anybody and say, you know what, I have cleared this, don't worry about it. I cannot do that.
Why is that?
Because of the silt and sediment and everything. Because you could be 10, 15 feet under the ground now in this reservoir. And I think it really comes back to, eventually we need to really, up our game. We need to get ourselves a magnetometer and add that to everything we're doing so we can run sonar and a magnetometer at the same time, because that's really going to tell you, do we have anything metallic under the surface?
And with a magnetometer, like we were discussing on the boat, being able to use the live scope, the down imaging, the side scan imaging, and a magnetometer, that kind of really makes things foolproof with the areas that we search. And in a situation like this, almost 5 decades old, we can have the ability to look at something that's possibly covered up and know what's under the ground that we can't get on those sonars.
And that's where you can come in and help out with these investigations, so that way we can get better equipment and we can travel and we can go help these families for free. Simply by liking and subscribing, it really helps us out. It helps the algorithm, and honestly, at the end of the day, we get like half of a cent, sometimes half of a cent for every view. Also, be sure to check out adventureswithpurpose.com, where you can make direct donations or you can pick up some merchandise as well. Everything goes to the cause to help us.
And unfortunately, with our efforts, I guess this one's going to remain a mystery. And we're going to have to wait for somebody else to come forward with some other information before we can go any further.
Yeah.